If you walk into a Zen monastery in Kyoto at 4 a.m., you will see something strange. You will see the High Master, a man who has meditated for 50 years, on his hands and knees. He is scrubbing the toilet. He is not doing this because they cannot afford a janitor. He is doing this because in Zen, the toilet is the altar. There is a practice called soji. It translates to cleaning, but that is a poor translation. It actually means purifying the spirit. The monks believe that dirt on the floor is actually dirt in your mind. If you leave a stain on the window, you are leaving a blind spot in your awareness. If you rush through the dishwashing, you are rushing through your life. You hate cleaning. You view it as a chore. You view it as a waste of time that stands between you and your real work. This is why you are anxious. You are living in a physical manifestation of your mental chaos. You are trying to think clearly in a room that is screaming at you. Today, we are going to hand you a broom. But we are not going to teach you how to tidy up your house. We are going to teach you how to polish your soul. Are you ready to scrub away the noise? The external brain. You have a delusion. You believe that your mind is locked safely inside your skull and the world is outside. You think that you can have a messy room and a clear head. Zen calls this dualism. Science calls this impossible. There is a concept in Buddhism called Eshofuni. It translates to, environment and self are not two. You are not in your room. You are your room. Your environment is your external brain. Look at your desk right now. Is it covered in papers, old coffee cups, tangled cables? That is an MRI scan of your current mental state. If your desk is cluttered, your neural pathways are cluttered. Why does this happen? It is a matter of cognitive load. Every object in your visual field is a task. The dirty laundry screams, "Wash me." The unread book screams, "Read me." The sticky note screams, "Don't forget me." Even if you are ignoring them, your subconscious is not. Your brain is spending precious energy constantly scanning, tagging, and suppressing these alerts. You are running a computer with 50 background apps open. No wonder you are slow. No wonder you are anxious. You are suffering from visual noise. When you walk into a minimalist hotel room, why do you feel a sudden wave of relief? Because the noise stops. The external brain is empty, so the internal brain finally has permission to rest. Soji starts with this realization. You cannot fix your depression by thinking your way out of it. You cannot organize your thoughts while sitting in a garbage dump. To order the mind, you must order the matter. When you align the shoes by the door, you are aligning your intention. When you wipe the dust off the mirror, you are wiping the fog off your focus. Stop trying to meditate in chaos. Clean the floor first. Then the mind will follow. The moving meditation. How do you clean your house? You put on headphones. You listen to a podcast. You rush. You treat the cleaning as an obstacle. It is the bad thing standing between you and the good thing, relaxing on the couch. You are result-oriented. You think, I will be happy when this floor is clean. This is why you suffer, because the floor will get dirty again tomorrow. If your happiness depends on the result, you are doomed to endless frustration. The entropy of the universe guarantees that things will get messy again. The monk does not clean for the result. He cleans for the process. In Zen, there is no difference between sitting in meditation, zazen, and sweeping the courtyard, samu. One is stillness in stillness. The other is stillness in motion. The monk does not rush to finish sweeping so he can go do something important. The sweeping is the important thing. If he misses a spot, he does not get angry. He simply sweeps again. Because the goal is not a clean courtyard. The goal is a sweeping monk. You must stop treating chores as dead time. You are killing hours of your life every week wishing you were somewhere else. That is spiritual suicide. Soji demands that you inhabit the action fully. When you wash a dish, just wash the dish. Feel the temperature of the water. Feel the texture of the porcelain. Watch the bubbles. Do not think about the email you need to write. Do not listen to the audiobook. Be 100% with the dish. Thich Nhat Hanh, the great Zen teacher, said, "If while washing dishes, we think only of the cup of tea that awaits us, thus hurrying to get the dishes out of the way as if they were a nuisance, we are not truly alive during the time we are washing the dishes. If you cannot find peace while washing a plate, you will not find it on a meditation cushion. Peace does not come from the absence of work. Peace comes from the presence of mind during the work." The respect for objects. Home today. You kick off your shoes. You toss your keys on the table. You drop your bag on the couch. You slam the door. You are violent. You treat the objects in your life like dead, dumb servants. In Japan, this is considered a spiritual crime. The roots of soji come from Shinto, the ancient animistic religion of Japan. Shinto teaches that everything has a spirit, kami. The chair, the cup, the broom, the shoe. They are not just matter. They are alive with purpose. When you treat an object roughly, you are disrespecting its spirit. And more importantly, you are practicing carelessness. If you are careless with your keys, you will be careless with your words. If you slam the door, you will slam your relationships. The master of soji follows the rule of silence. Cleaning should be silent. If you hear a clang when you put the dishes away, you failed. If you hear a thud when you put a book down, you failed. The noise is the sound of your ego crashing into the world. You are imposing your force upon the object. Soji requires you to handle everything with a terrifying gentleness. The two-hand rule. In the tea ceremony, a bowl is always held with two hands. Why? One hand is functional. Two hands is reverential. Try this today. When you pick up your coffee mug, use two hands. When you hand someone a pen, use two hands. When you open a door, use the handle. Do not kick it open. This physical shift changes your psychology instantly. It forces you to slow down. It forces you to acknowledge the existence of the object. It turns a mundane action into a holy sacrament. When you treat your environment with respect, the environment respects you back. A shirt folded with care looks better than a shirt thrown in a pile. A knife sharpened with care cuts better. A room cleaned with love feels warmer. You think you are just cleaning. Actually, you are learning gratitude. You are saying to the floor, "Thank you for holding me up." You are saying to the cup, "Thank you for holding my water." A mind filled with gratitude cannot be filled with anxiety. The 10-minute monk. The biggest enemy of soji is perfectionism. You look at your messy apartment and you think, "This will take 4 hours. I don't have 4 hours, so I will do it on Saturday." Saturday comes, you are tired. You don't do it. The mess grows. The shame grows. The external brain gets louder. You are paralyzed because you are looking at the mountain. The monk does not look at the mountain. He looks at his feet. He does not clean until it is done. He cleans until the bell rings. To master this art, you must adopt the 10-minute rule. This is the only habit you need to change your life. Every morning or every evening when you get home, set a timer on your phone for exactly 10 minutes. Not 15, not 30, 10. Pick one area: the kitchen sink, the entryway, the bathroom mirror. Press start. And then work with the focus of a surgeon. Move with speed, but with grace. 2 hands, silence. Scrub, wipe, polish. Do not check your phone. Do not stop to choose a song. For 10 minutes, you are the monk. Here is the most important part. When the timer hits 00, you stop. Even if you are halfway through a shelf, even if the floor is only half swept, put the broom away. Why? Because you must teach your brain that cleaning has an end. The reason you hate cleaning is that it feels infinite. It feels like a black hole that will suck up your entire evening. By setting a hard boundary, you make it safe. Your brain relaxes. Oh, I can do anything for 10 minutes. You will be shocked at what happens. In 10 minutes of focused soji, you can transform a room. But the room is not the point. The point is that you have broken the seal of procrastination. You have proven to yourself that you have dominion over your environment. You are starting your day with a victory. A clean sink is a small win, but a small win is infinite times better than a big neglect. When you wake up tomorrow and walk into a kitchen that sparkles, you will not feel the usual heaviness of things to do. You will feel a lightness. You will feel that the day is welcoming you. You gave the house 10 minutes of love, and the house is giving you back 24 hours of clarity. The polished mirror. There is a famous verse in Zen poetry. The body is the Bodhi tree. The mind is like a bright mirror's stand. At all times we must strive to polish it, and must not let the dust collect. You are waiting for a breakthrough. You are waiting for a moment of sudden enlightenment, where your depression vanishes and your motivation returns. You are looking for the lightning bolt. Soji teaches us that there is no lightning bolt. There is only the daily act of wiping the dust off the mirror. If you do not wipe the mirror today, the dust settles. If you do not wipe it tomorrow, the dust gets thicker. Eventually, you cannot see your reflection at all. You forget who you are. This is what has happened to you. You have let the dust of busyness and stress cover your spirit. You think you need a vacation. Actually, you just need a broom. The beauty of soji is that it is instant. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control your boss. You cannot control the future. but you can control the cleanliness of your kitchen sink. And in a world of chaos, that control is not trivial. It is a lifeline. When you restore order to your physical space, you prove to yourself that you have the power to change reality. You prove that you are not a victim of entropy. You are an agent of order. Do not look at cleaning as a chore that is beneath you. Nothing is beneath you. If a Zen master is humble enough to scrub a toilet, you are humble enough to fold your laundry. Stop living in the past, the mess you made yesterday. Stop living in the future, the mess you might make tomorrow. Live in the now. Wipe the surface, and watch how your reflection becomes clear again. So tell me, what is the one micro mess in your house that you have been ignoring for weeks? For example, the chair with all the clothes, the drawer of doom, the dusty ceiling fan. Write it in the comments. Set the timer for 10 minutes. Polish the mirror.